Flashback.
Do you believe the border wall works?
No. Okay.
The wall is not effective. It's very expensive. It's nothing more than a campaign applause line for the president in one of his speeches. It has no merit in terms of effectiveness, cost effectiveness, and does not support the values of our country by building walls between countries.
A few moments later.
Democratic National Convention starts in just one day. You can see the security perimeter is already around it. This is over here where the staff and volunteers actually get to go in, and they do have to display their credentials before they can get in. That sign over there saying that you're entering a United States Secret Service area. There's still some media that's out and about. Lots of police officers. We've seen more police officers today than we have the entire time. There's barricades all around the security perimeter here, and you can see that police are already monitoring the area. There's some Chicago police officers right there, and we even hear a helicopter up in the sky as well. So there is a lot of preparation already in place. And over here you can see the Chicago Department of Sanitation has some trucks. We've seen those trucks in other areas around the perimeter as well, just to make sure that no other cars can get through. They have been working long shifts, 16-hour long shifts, and their plan is to just make sure no one tries to get through the security perimeter. And if they do, they will call 911 dispatch immediately to get police attention. So we know that there was tens of thousands of protesters expected to march on the DNC, but they won't be able to get as close to the United Center, which is over there, as they would like. So should be an interesting few days. We'll have to wait and see.
What's going on, guys? So you see the intro. They got massive crowds of people out here at the DNC convention in Chicago. This is going to be lit. It's going to be crazy because these protesters, I'm telling you right now, are not just gonna stay peaceful. They're waiting for stuff to pop off. Now, I don't know if they're gonna just wait until tomorrow, because as of this recording, it is Sunday. I don't know if they're just gonna wait till tomorrow to pop it off, or if they're going to wait until it's time for Kamala to start speaking. I'm not exactly sure what they're going to do here, but all I know is they're going to wreak havoc. Now, there's a couple different precautions that have been made in order to prevent businesses from being destroyed. One of those is to board up the buildings.
Downtown business owners are no stranger to civil unrest, and while police say they are prepared for that possibility during next week's Democratic National Convention, some owners already taking their own precautions.
As we know, this city has a poor track record when it comes to protecting businesses.
The looming unknowns ahead of next week's Democratic National Convention are why Scott Shapiro says he knew he had to take precautions to keep his decades-old business safe.
We felt it was more prudent to board up since our customers and their employers have told them to stay home throughout the convention for their own safety.
Other downtown businesses also taking precautions, like here at the Garland Building on North Wabash and Washington, which houses multiple office spaces, stores, and restaurants, keeping the company Chicago Board Up Services quite busy.
In addition to that, and oh, the irony here is astounding. The irony is that these clowns decided that now all of a sudden walls work.
If you look behind me over my shoulder, you'll notice those fences and snowplows in place. We've actually watched all morning as they have started to bring in more metal fencing, more barricades, and these snowplows have been kind of navigating around those barricades and getting into place around the UC. Take a look at some of this video we got earlier this morning. You can see a lot of cars have been turning around already as they're met with these new closures that have been set in place overnight and early this morning.
I love democracy. Like, I wish I was going to the convention, but for the neighborhood, there's been like no communication and very little engagement of the people who are closest to it. The parking restrictions have changed 3 times in the last week on our block, and no one's like communicated to us that the protest route actually goes right in front of our building.
Guys, think about the world that we're in. For all those people who are like clutching their pearls at Project 2025, Project 2025 is gonna take our rights, even though Trump's agenda is called Agenda 47, not Project 2025. It's called Agenda 47 on his website. These dum-dums have convinced themselves that Project 2025 is Trump's agenda, and basically anything that Democrats say, these fools will believe. Imagine living in a world where we have literal war that has made its way to our doorsteps. Like, businesses get destroyed, like colleges getting ransacked, all of these encampments. Like, this has literally been going on since October 7th of 2023. It's been a whole disastrous year almost. And the Democrat voters, a lot of them are trying to vote for more of this. The thing that they said they were afraid that Trump would bring, which is World War III. That's without getting into the horrendous economy, all the sky-high prices, inflation, housing market, and so forth. And to make matters worse, to add additional fuel to that fire, Hamas apparently has rejected the latest ceasefire agreement.
Overseas now, and the Palestinian militant group Hamas has rejected the latest proposals for a ceasefire in Gaza, saying it was biased towards Israel. Middle East correspondent Eric Torchek reports.
The United States has tried to take control of these talks, telling everyone there was a final deal put to the parties and it was going to be accepted by the end of the week. Now Hamas says that's a lie. It says the US has essentially taken Israel's side in the negotiations and accepted positions that Hamas was never going to agree to, such as Israel retaining a military presence inside the Gaza Strip, retaining control of the border with Egypt, and not agreeing to a permanent ceasefire. Those things were always red lines for Hamas, and it says it cannot agree to a ceasefire under those terms. It says it did, however, agree to a proposal put forward last month, and it blames Israel for imposing new conditions in excess of that deal. Israel, for its part, says Hamas is being obstinate. The Israeli Prime Minister, though, has conceded there are some conditions upon which Israel cannot afford to be flexible. Then there's the looming threat of attacks by the Lebanese militant group Hezbollah and Iran. Iran had indicated it would withhold its promised revenge for Israel's presumed assassination of a Hamas leader in Tehran, and it followed that its ally Hezbollah would also withhold its retaliation for a Hezbollah leader in Beirut. If the ceasefire talks collapse, it's presumed that those two strikes are back on the table, and also with them the threat of an all-out regional war.
So I'm gonna tell y'all right now, this freaking DNC about to be lit, because you know that these people not just gonna just stay outside, stay peaceful. At the RNC convention, there was like some little bitty you couldn't even tell nothing was going on. There's some people like trying to protest Trump, you know, trying to be woke as hell. There was so few of them people out there, you couldn't even tell nobody was even out there. But they got over 100,000 people, well over 100,000. I can't wait to see the final number of people. Not that I don't support the protesters in terms of what they're trying to accomplish. I support the protesters in terms of making sure that Democrats don't win. These people are useful pawns. So if this is a game of chess, these people are assisting with ensuring that the Republicans inevitably checkmate their Democrat opponents. Now I got to put this disclaimer out there. I don't want any violence, but who am I kidding? We all know how these things go. People are going to get violent and crazy. There's going to be agitators. It's finna be wild. And even though I don't want that to happen, I already know that it is, so therefore I'm going to be somewhat happy about it, because if anything that makes the Democrats get exposed for who they really are, then I'm all for that, because this is what these people encourage during the BLM riots, for people to be wild and crazy and literally act like animals in the street, destroy their businesses, destroy their country, put up other flags, other countries' flags instead of their own flags. And now it's backfiring on them. And I know that these people are not going to stop, even with this convention, This stuff is going to go on. Guys, this ceasefire is not going to happen. It's going to go on all the way until the election. And a lot of these people are going to make a fuss to make sure that Kamala is not elected too. And I am all for it. Let me know what you guys think. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I appreciate you watching the Black Anomaly Rising channel. I'm out.
It's about to go down.